Alright, subpart F. Inspection testing maintenance requirement for the Terra 2 passenger equipment. This is what 238.501 scope. The subpart contains inspection testing maintenance requirements for the Terra passenger equipment that is operated with a speed exceeding 125 miles an hour, but not exceeding 155 miles an hour. The 238.503 inspection testing maintenance requirements the general end of the procedure for the 5 and the 238.505 each of the railroad show up to the training. After approval of the written inspection testing maintenance of the program Terra the 2 passenger equipment prior to the implementation of the program, prior to the commencement of the passenger operation of the use of the equipment, if further specified in section of the program shall describe in detail the procedural equipment and other necessary to shape the operation for the passenger equipment, including the inspection procedure, interval, the criteria for the testing procedure, interval schedule, preventable maintenance intervals for maintenance procedures. 5. Special testing equipment measuring devices required to perform inspection testing and maintenance, and training and qualification, and the designated employees, the contractor performance inspection testing and maintenance compliance after the railroad's inspection test maintenance for the program approved by the FAA under the statute 238.505 of the railroad shall adopt the program, shall perform the inspection testing proper the brakes for the primary brakes for the described in the program, the other pro inspection testing described in the paragraph in accordance with the procedure for the described here with the railroad identified in safety criteria. Safety critical. The maintenance testing is described in the program in accordance with the procedure of the interval of the railroad identified in safety critical. The general safety inspection testing and maintenance procedure for the inspection testing and maintenance of the program under the paragraph A of the section shall contain the railroad written procedure to ensure that all safety system components, services, and passenger equipment are free of any general condition that endanger the safety of the equipment of the crew, passenger of the equipment, of the procedure that shall protect against the continuous accumulation of oil and grease and proper function of the components, crack or break, assessment where structural defects, awareness for the component, 5, 4, leak of the component, use of the component of the system with the condition with exceed the 4 of the component of the system, the sign that operate with the ensure secure attachment of the component specific inspection of the program and under paragraph A of the section specified by the ulterior tube of the passenger equipment received through the inspection with accordance with the following standards except for the provided in paragraph E3 of the section. The equivalent class 1 brake test contained in statute 238.313 shall be conducted prior to transit departure from the originating terminal every 1,500 miles or once each calendar year, which comes there, if it comes for the train, the remainder of the continuous service of the Class 1 equivalent brake test shall be performed with the qualified maintenance person, except for the provided in paragraph 213 and 15b of the railroad shall not use the hull, the carrier, 2 passenger train, the passenger service the location of the Class 1 equivalent brake test has been performed as was required of this part have been performed at least 100% of the operative brakes to be except for the provided in paragraph D3 of the section complete exterior, interior mechanical inspection in accordance with the railroad inspection program shall be conducted conducted by a qualified maintenance personnel with at least one during each of the calendar year of the equipment used in service of the 3 the train misscheduled for the class for the 1 brake test mechanical inspection due to delay daily en route to proceed with the performance of the class 1 brake test for the mechanical inspection scheduled to be performed each for the movement of the train for the powered brake test for the movement of the train with the power brake defects as defined in statute 238.15. The brake defects shall be governed in 238.15f. Movement of the trains or other defects, the movement of the trains within the defect of the power to effect shall be conducted in accordance with the 238.17 following exemption of the movement of the Terra 2 power recovered with the non-complying headlights shall be conducted in accordance with statute 238.443 of this part with the failure of the secondary brake Terra 2 passenger equipment. The occupants flying route with the train remain with the service until the next scheduled calendar class 1 brake test equivalent speed no greater than maximum safe operation speed demonstrated through the analysis of the testing brake and the friction brake. Although the brake system shall be restored to 100% operation for the train departs to the inspection location maintenance intervals. Program under the paragraph A of the section shall include the railroad's initial scheduled maintenance intervals for Terra 2 equipment based on the analysis completed pursuant to the railroad safety plan with the maintenance interval safety critical components should be contained but only with the justified, accumulated, verifiable operating data approved by the FAA under 238.505 before the change to take effect. Training qualification for the designation program. The program under the paragraph A of the section shall describe the training qualification designation program as defined in the training program plan of the 238.109 with the railroad to qualify individuals and inspect the maintenance of the equipment. If the railroad deemed the safety critical, the only qualified individuals shall inspect and maintain the equipment. Knowledge of the procedure described in paragraph A of the section shall require the qualified employee with the contractor to perform inspection, testing, and maintenance for the tasks under this part. Standard procedure. The program under paragraph A of the section shall include the written standard procedure for performing all the safety critical inspection maintenance repair tasks if the necessary to ensure the safety properly operation equipment. The inspection testing made for the program required by the section does not intend to address that should not include the procedures employed the work conditions provided the course of conducting inspection testing made set forth in the program whether review of the railroad program. The FAA does not intend to review any portion of the program that relates to employee working conditions. Annual review the inspection testing maintenance of the program. The required of the section shall be reviewed of the railroad annually. K. Quality control program. Each of the railroad shall establish inspection testing maintenance quality control performance and forth of the railroad contractor supervisor responsible to ensure the inspection testing maintenance has been performed in accordance with federal safety standards. The procedures established in the railroad. 1. Identification of safety critical items in the program under paragraph A of the section of the railroad shall identify all the inspection testing procedure with the criteria as well as the maintenance intervals the railroad deemed safety critical. 238-505, approval of program approval procedure submission no less than 90 days prior to the commencing passenger operation for the Terra 2 passenger equipment that each of the railroad with it shall submit the approval of the inspection testing made of the program that equipment meets the requirements of the subpart Associated Administrative Safety Federal Road Administration 1200 New Jersey Avenue Southeast Mail Staff 25 Washington DC 20590. Railroad seeks to amend as an approved program. Railroad shall file with the FRA Associated Administrative Safety a petition with approval of amendment for the not less than 60 days prior to the proposed effective date of the amendment of the program. The response to the requirement of the subpart, any of the amendment of the program shall not be implemented prior to the approval. Each program amendment under statute 238-503 shall contain the information prescribed in 238-503. Such program amendment. Name of the title and address and telephone number of the primary person to contact with regard of the to the review of the program and amendment. The statement affirming the railroad have served a copy of the program amendment that says the name of the representative of the railroad employed to order together with the list of the names and address for the power person to serve. Each railroad shall serve a copy of each of the submission from the FRA to the representative of the railroad employees responsible for the equipment and operation and inspection testing and maintenance under this part of the comment. Read the comment no later than 40 days after the date of the filing of the program amendment. The person of the comments for the program amendment, each of the comments shall set for specifically basis of which the main date insert with a concise statement of the interest of the commentary of the proceeding. Each comment shall be submitted with the Associated Administrative Safety Federal Road Administration 1200 New Jersey Southeastern Mail Staff 25 Washington D 020590. Commenter shall certify the copy of the comments was certified by the railroad. Approval within 60 days of the receipt. Each of the initial inspection testing maintenance program. The FRA will conduct a formal review of the provision program. The FRA will notify the permanent primary railroad to contact first for the designated employee representative with the writing of the inspection testing of the maintenance program, and it's approved. And if not approved at the specified point of the program, the sufficiency of if the program is not approved, the FRA will have the man with the program to correct with all the deficiency requirement. Resubmit the program when the required revision no later than 45 days prior to the commencing passenger operations. FRA will view only each of the proposed amendment of the program within 45 days of the receipt. The FRA will notify the primary railroad contact person designated employee responsibility representative within writing with the proposed amendment that has been approved. The FRA will approve in specific points and with the proposed amendment the deficiency of the railroad shall correct any deficiency, file corrected amendment prior to the implementation of the amendment. The following initial approval of the program amendment of the FRA may be reopened to consider date from the program amendment the cause stated. Subpart G, specific safety plan requirements of the Terra 2 passenger equipment.